ja minä. Joku oli tullut kuvaamaan työpaikassa.
Well, hello, welcome back to Finland and the circuit of Kouvola here for round 3 of the 2020 FIA World Rallycross Championship, and you are here for the live stream for qualifying 3. I just wanted to give you a sense of just how brilliantly compact this circuit is. This is the final turn. There's the Joker merge. There's the pre-grid. The grid, this is the pre-grid, and it's all kind of packed in on itself. It's a brilliant, compact roller coaster of a circuit with the trees in the middle of the Finnish forest. Absolutely perfect for Rallycross. Thank you very much for joining us. I know we had a technical issue with the previous live stream for qualifying 2. Apologies for that. We will bring you up to speed. Hopefully, if you're watching now, comment in the stream where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. A bit of a local hero here, Jari Kaliakoski. Timo Timosjanov there having a chat with Timo Scheider. Let's just have a little word though with our Dutch friend Kevin Abbring. So and also before you go in there, Bob, we'll have a look at the livery of this car, the uncorrupted Clio. It's an absolutely brilliant livery. So Kevin, it must feel good to be back in a Rallycross car. We saw you actually physically at Helios, but you weren't racing. Now you're racing.
It feels amazing to be back. A little rusty maybe, because everyone obviously drove last week, but after a few laps in free practice, that was almost over. So yeah, stoked to be back and now fighting for a position in the semis. Hasn't been easy for us, but I'm a really positive person, and on Q2 we were at the wrong place at the wrong time, and this is part of the sport, and this you have to turn into something positive, and we just give it our best, give it everything we have, and the car's getting better, so it should be possible.
Okay, well I can hear the engines firing up, so I'll let you concentrate. There we go. So when we back up a little bit, they're still talking, Timo and Timmer, discussing, I'm sure, tactics into turn 1. Now let's bring us up to speed with what happened in qualifying 2, up there with the commentary booth.
Q2 was fastest first. The track had just been watered. Nobody was sure how quick it was going to be. What was sure was how quick these guys were. Kristoffersen and Ekstrom at the front of the pack. Ekstrom seemingly able to match the lap times of Kristoffersen until he jokered slightly earlier. Gronholm running the car right the way out to the barrier. Come the end of the race, that was the margin between Johan and Matthias. Race 2, good start for Robin Larsson, big squeeze across the entire grid, ended up getting sideways and going through the gravel trap along with Liam Dora, and Andreas Backrud, who'd lost the start, took advantage of all that carnage, and out front led Scheider and Kevin Hansen. Kevin couldn't find a way past Timo at this point. Andreas Backrud joking at the end of the race it was going to come down to the merges, and as you can see, Timo just held on almost side by side at the line. Race 3, Anton Markland on the inside, Yanni Parson going all the way round the outside. Fantastic job by him. Not quite quick enough though, and holding up the rest of the pack. So Anton Markland not able to get the lap times we know he's capable of. Timosjanov chasing him down. Anton took the win, but it was only good enough for P9. Final race of Q2. On the inside, Gulan Shisharit. On the outside, Rennie Munich. Big squeeze in the middle. It was Karai who got the whole shot. A little bit of contact there from Athro Marta. Pushed Munich wide. Munich from then on was setting great lap times but couldn't make headway other than this mistake by Marta, which let Rennie through the gap. Come the merge at the end, it was Karai who took the checkered flag, but it was Kristoffersen who won the session. Johan Kristoffersen then winning Q2 along with Q1 at the top of the table. Ekström P2 in both those sessions, definitely closer in Q2. Timmy Hansen, Andreas Backward, Niklas Grönholm, Juha Richtinen, Timo Scheider, Kevin Hansen, your top 8. And on the cusp of going in or out, Larsen, Mark and Timosyanov, particularly Doran, retired in Q2, but is just clinging on to that last place in the semis. Okay, here we go. Q3 time. Doran here on the outside of the grid. Only for, remember, it's slowest first. So Doran retired last time. So absolute shocker for him. Somehow, thanks to his result of P8 in the first one, a 19th, he's managed to hold on to a place P12. I wonder if they're going to move him across. Are they happy with where he is on the grid? Maybe we can get our camera down the side there and just see if he's on the white line. He might get away with it. I hope he doesn't get a penalty afterwards, Dan.
No, I'd imagine, you know, he's in the box enough. He's given himself some breathing room. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Liam try and hang it for a send around the outside here. Let's have a look.
There is one. It's borderline, isn't it? Come on, if you're going to move, if they want to move him, I want to see them move him now. What I don't want to see is a penalty afterwards. You've got to move him now if you want him moved.
He could well be a bit of a disadvantage here because he's on the painted line. It's not going to be as grippy as straight tarmac.
True, and there's nobody outside him, so... Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
they want the car moved over. Okay, there we go, that's fine. Like I say, I'd far rather see him moved over now than afterwards. You know, they go, oh, he's outside the box, 5-second penalty or something daft like that. So there we go. Doran gets a pushback from the marshals, which is cool because it means he doesn't have to engage reverse and can roll the car back into position. So Liam needs to do what Parsonen did in the last session and absolutely send it around the outside. Race 1 of Q3. On the inside, Jiri Kalliokoski, then it's Kevin Abbring, Abthro Marta and Liam Doran. New boots for Abbring and Doran. Doran really needs a good start. He's in P12. He cannot afford to get held up by these guys and maybe lose that last spot in the semis. Now, Abbring started well in the previous race. To be fair, we haven't seen anyone who is an obvious slow starter. Doran really needs this, as does Abbring. Abbring's down in P17. Good start on the outside for Doran, but maybe not quite as good as Abbring. Is he going to dare to do it on the bar round the outside, or he gets a nudge anyway? Lights the throttle up, just holds on. Come on, Liam, hold on to it. Oh, just about. Tank slapper through the first corner. Liam Doran holds on, but unfortunately he's not got the whole shot. Now he's out on the dirt. Surely not another problem for Liam.
Car's broken, 100%. He's coming to a stop there. Contact, wasn't it, on the way into turn 1. It's just enough just to break the car. Kevin Abbring with a problem too.
Well, there's two guys who aren't going to make the semis.
Real shame.
Shocker.
Try and see what, I don't know, I think Liam might have broken the back right corner. I don't know if we can see another shot of that in a minute.
We'll get it in the replays. Well, there you go then. So that means Kalliokoski and Marta are on their own. Let's take a look at the standings. So Doran is 12th. Tamas Karai is currently 13th, level with points with Gulan Shisharit. You then got Parsonen, Kalliokoski. Abbring's gone out, as he is. Abbring,
yeah, I can see from the commentary position he's
right,
pulling
so
off.
Abbring and Doran, for me, unfortunately, are gone. I'm gutted for Liam because I think he deserves better, Dan.
Yeah, 100%. Especially here, you can see he's pulled off in the background there. Yeah, especially here, he was showing really good pace today, and he had to go for that move around the outside. He had no other option.
No, he's got to get. You know, he didn't. For me, he didn't win the start. He was level at turn 1, but if he'd won the start, the car just looked a little bit tidy off the line. Maybe he'd have got away clean, but he cannot catch a break, can he?
No, not at all. And yeah, just that little bit of contact is enough to damage the car again. I think I could see as he came up to turn 2 that the car was damaged. It would normally straighten out quicker than that.
Kalliokoski setting a 40.4 on that last lap. We've got all our timing systems back up and running. That's Abthro Marta giving it the sideways, but not necessarily nailing the lap time. So Kalliokoski, as I say, he's one of the drivers in with a shot of getting in. There's 4 people within 2 points, all 1 point back from Liam Doran. Couple of shout-outs. We've got Brad Marksman in Wisconsin, got up at 03:25 this morning to watch Rallycross. Get in, Brad. That's like gold meds, mate, for that. Well done. And also Michael Alfaro from Costa Rica. Michael was in touch with me a couple of times during the winter. He got into Rallycross thanks to that epic final down in South Africa and was like, I'm watching it. I need to watch it. When's it on? Sent us a few messages. We're like, dude, it's early for you. 02:30 in Costa Rica to watch Sweden last week. Michael, yes, gold meds. We're handing out the gold meds. Let us know where you're watching from. What time did you get up? Are you the most committed Rallycross fan out there? Let me know. We'll give you a shout out. Kaliakoski into the Joker. Tidily done. Going to come around to the last corner. Let's see what it's like as a time. Good run for Kaliakoski, to be fair. 2:49.2. Going to look down my times. That would have been good enough, to be fair. That would have stuck in P7. No, P5. Yeah, in Q2. So Kaliakoski's pulled a bit of a blinder there, Dan. We don't know how track conditions compare in terms of time. So is there a possibility that what Kaliakoski has done there could take him from P16 to the semi-finals at home in Finland? Kaliakoski with a great time. Brilliant drive by him after problems for Doran and Abring. Atromata coming in 12 seconds behind his countryman. Right, Doran. Actually, Doran got a better start than I thought. We saw that from the front shot, Dan, and actually it was a good start.
Yeah.
Then he gets a tiny nudge from the rear. Look at that. He's lit it up, though. At this point, you know, I'm thinking he's hung on to that.
Yeah, usually I think if you've lit it up, it would have straightened out a bit quicker, and you can see there again, it was...
Same thing as we saw in Hollius, you know, he's turning in, I don't know, maybe not, but Abring as well. Tough times.
Yeah, not ideal for those two.
Kaliakoski, maybe ideal. So Kaliakoski with a clean run, managing to just nail a few decent lap times. So we said set a time that would have been right up there in Q2. Going to depend what happens to the people around him in the standings, but has Kaliakoski got into the semis?
Jari, great to get a race win at home in Finland. How was it?
Sorry, I not hear you. But yeah, first good heat for me today. I don't know what is the points for the semi. I don't know.
Are you happy? Thank you.
As happy as a Finn ever is, he's averagely happy to happy. Probably, I imagine he might be quite okay. But that's all good. I think Abring probably not quite okay, particularly I think Liam not going to be okay. I think GCK got a little bit of work to do, Dan.
Yeah, the car's not running as reliable as we'd seen it in the past, that's for sure.
No, shame for them. They got, you know, they have got a lot of cars. Appreciate that's a lot of work. So that is the corner that was tapped, isn't it? You said you thought rear right. But there's barely any damage on the car.
Yeah, just taking the wheel off now, see if we can see anything in behind. Having to give it a good pull.
Yeah, so something's starting. Bear in mind there's no brakes or calipers in there. Those are inboard. So whatever is... what are they doing? Is the rim broken?
The
they
rim.
pulled the centre of the rim out, look. So the rim completely broken in half, and that, I'm afraid, is going to mean you're going to have to stop. So, unlucky. Contact, basically. So fair go, not the car. Contact in turn one. I'm just a bit gutted for Liam. Look, I know we're British commentators. We do the world feed. We do our very best not to be biased. But I like a good story. And that applies for everyone. You know, so when Timmer took his first win last year, I'm stoked. You know, somebody wins that's never won, I'm stoked. If somebody wins from P12, mega. That's what we want. And Liam had a bad weekend. I wanted to see him have a good weekend. I kind of wanted to see Kevin Abring prove the uncorrupted Cleo's got to play too. But you know what? This is motorsport. It's a tough game. And here's a guy who's got a tough job to do. Gulan Shisharit is in P14. GCK could do with a good news story this time round. So can Shisharit get a good time here and book a slot in the semis? Kaliakoski's just done a really good time. There's only 1 point between them, so Gulan really has got to beat Kaliakoski's time, hasn't he, I think, Dan?
Yeah, he's got to beat it. And
Because yeah, if Kaliakowski gets one more point than him this time, even one more, he'd win, wouldn't he, if he's faster in the last session?
Yes.
So he's got to beat him. Cars are ready for race 2. Let's take a look at the grid. Timosyanov on the inside, Karai, Shisharit, Munich and Parsonen. New boots on the front for Timmer, all round for Gillane. Tamas Karai look P13. So you look at this. I mean, I say, we saw a minute ago Kaliakowski from P16. We got 3 guys here in front of him anyway. But Kaliakowski's time was very good. Let's go. Timmer needs a good one from the inside. We know you've got to win the start if you want to get the car turned in and get everybody outside you to do the work. Good start by Karai next to him though. Karai's equal with Timosyanov on the run down to the first corner. Shisharit drops back into P3 sideways for Timosyanov. Karai just holds on, get a nudge from Shisharit behind. Gillane holds on as well. Karai runs wide. Timosyanov up the inside. Oh, Shisharit almost managed to get past Tamas Karai as well. Parsons had to slide into P4. Right, Timosyanov out front. But Timmer, who is currently P11, he's in Dan, and a clear run here is going to see him in anyway. But what Timmer needs to do is smash it and get further up the grid. So everybody here has got something to play for.
Yeah, so the gap back to Timmer in the points is he's got more of a barrier than...
Oh, he's made a mistake, Dan. Sorry, Timmer makes a mistake, almost puts it in the wall on the outside.
Oh, he got away with that, didn't he? After being handed a get-out-of-jail-free card into turn 2 from Karai. He just needs to keep it calm. He hasn't got the pressure. They'll be telling him on the radio, you don't back it up a bit. It's not worth running the risks.
Gillane looking pretty quick to me in P3 behind Karai. I think Shisharit's looking like he's got his head around the Clio. Needs to keep it tidy on the brakes here. Parsonen with him. Munich's gone joker at the back of the pack. And remember, Munich was doing good lap times in his last run. Rennie Munich's down in P18 though, and I think too many points back to make the semi. So Munich looking for a bit of honour basically into the joker lap goes Shisharit, and Parsonen's gone with him, so that relieves the pressure on Karai. Are they going to come out in front of Rennie Munich? Just about. So Munich being covered off. Can he get past Parsonen? Looks to the inside. Parsonen runs wide. Munich goes up the inside. Parsonen sideways all the way up the straight. Almost drifting it right the way down to the end. Parsonen still looking up the inside. Nose was almost there. Runs himself a little bit deep. Munich holds on to P4. All of that helps out Shisharit. So Shisharit now the leading car that's jokered. Can he do enough work to get past Karai in front? Timosyanov, how are the lap times? 40.4, not bad.
No, not too bad. That's matching Kaliakowski. So Kaliakowski was on a really good charge, wasn't he?
Karai's gone joker from P2. This is to cover off behind Gillane. Shisharit coming around the outside. Gillane needs a bit of exit speed here to get past Karai. Now he's got to back it off and go outside, inside onto the straight, but I think Karai's far enough in front. He is. So Tamas Karai holds on to second place. Karai ahead of Shisharit. Karai, where is he? Yeah, he's ahead of Shisharit in the standings as well. So Karai, Kaliakowski, Shisharit. Kaliakowski, of course, currently the leader on a 2:49.2. Going to have to look at all those times. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to let the computer do the maths because we are known for being bad at it. Timosyanov into the joker lap now. 40.2 on his previous lap. Timmer has found the pace after the mistake early in the race. Where can he get to? Fastest time of the weekend is at 2:44 from Kristoffersen in Q1, 2:48.9. So it is quicker than Kaliakowski, but only by 0.3. Kaliakowski has done a brilliant job there. Shisharit off the side of the track after the finish. Trying to see what Shisharit did at 2:53.8, so he's behind Kaliakowski, and so's Karai by a long way. So Kaliakowski may have basically taken their chances away with that brilliant performance. Said it was his first clear run of the day. Timosyanov wins Q3 race 2 with a 2:48.9. Yet to see how that compares to our quick guys. Karai, Shisharit, Munich, Parsonen, the remaining 4 drivers. But they are all struggling with that man Kaliakowski. So Kaliakowski is in P2. He was in P16 before this session. Is Kaliakowski going to nick the last point in the semis? Karai with a good start. Look, Timmer inside, hasn't got anywhere to go. Karai turns in across him. Fair play to Karai. Shisharit there was just picked up, but there's no way Timmer could have known he was inside him. But Karai a little bit too wild.
Yeah, just a little bit too late on the brakes, wasn't it? And at that point you're pressing the pedal too hard, almost locking up and then sending it straight on. So Timojanov, yeah, handing the get out of jail free card. I wonder if we'll see his moment.
Well, it was kind of two get out of jail free cards, wasn't it? He definitely won't be getting another one, will he? It's next time he'll be straight to jail. Do not collect £200, euros, dollars, whatever is your local currency. We are talking Monopoly, if you're not aware. Other games are available. So Timojanov, yeah, gets away with it twice, takes the checker flag. Not sure how quick it will be compared to the quick guys.
Timo, you did a couple of good moves at the beginning and then it looked relatively easy.
Yeah, that was my first run today. Maybe overall so clean in the first lap because the Tomas car right on the mistake. Even he was in the front of me in the first corner. But yeah, the speed is still not there. That's what we need to work continue. But we will see how it's going. I think hopefully we will save it in semi-finals. But yeah, we need to catch the points for the 4-1 guys.
Okay, thank you. Good luck.
Timojanov, a little bit of a frown. He's obviously having to think about it. We spoke to Marcus at length, didn't we? Marcus was on great form this morning watching free practice. His phone battery died, so he needed my phone to watch the timing. Needs a new phone. Bet me 4 beers that what a lap time Niklas would do and lost, and then said that was a very expensive bet, wasn't it, Dan?
Yeah.
He was in great form, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was very chatty this morning.
Super relaxed. That was up on the high banking above the jump and gravel section. He tested the car. Marcus tested the car last week. He said he was really frustrated in Sweden. I don't think he was in Sweden, was he? He was watching from home. I think they have a holiday home in Sweden. He was watching and just said that he knew it wasn't right. They knew they weren't where they wanted last year's car in terms of the pace, not the parts. The new parts will be quicker when they dial it in, but you've got to dial it in so fast because 40% of the championship is happening inside 9 days. It's mad. So he did some changes to the settings. They were much closer this morning, but seemingly maybe not quite close enough. Race 3, Q3. Juha Rukkanen on the inside, Timo Scheider, Kevin Hansen, Anton Markland and Robin Larsson. Oh, new boots for Larsson and for Markland. Kevin Hansen and Timo Scheider, new tyres on the front. Juha Rukkanen in 6th place. Saving those tyres for the later stages of the meeting. There's the noise we all love. Oh, what a brilliant start on the outside from Larsson. Can he shut the door? Though he can't. Seemingly going backwards. He's going to carry the speed round the outside. Larsson gets it done from the outside. Didn't have enough room for that. Turned in. There were cars inside him. Somehow he holds on. Rukkanen is in P2. Kevin Hansen and then Anton Markland. Timo Scheider lost out big time in the first corner.
Yeah, that's where Larsson just swung across the front of him and then contact on his inside shot Scheider out into to the middle of nowhere. So I don't know if he's picked up any damage. Obviously he's dropped off the back of the pack.
He's still there. We saw him in the back of the shot just a moment ago. Into the Joker goes Rukkanen straight away. So Rukkanen thinks he can match the pace or beat the pace of Larsson. That's going to open up a bit of space for Kevin Hansen and Markland, but potentially Rukkanen on the back of Markland already. Now he needs Anton to be super quick.
Yeah, and Anton is quick. He's been setting some of the fastest laps. He's just not had the right race. He's been in traffic and various different problems through the day, but we know he's a good pace setter, so at least he's not going to be held up.
Impressed by Rukkanen in the background. Look at his accuracy. This was one of the places we were watching. Marcus was saying, watch him through here. He's really patient on the throttle. He waits and then he gets on it, and you can see it down. We saw a lot of people struggling with that downhill hairpin.
Yeah, it's very tricky, and you can see how accurate he was there. Again, holding it tighter.
Markland goes Joker. Kevin Hansen's car going light over the crest. This is Rukkanen versus Markland. Rukkanen gets him into the inside on the right. This is working out in his favour, isn't it?
Yeah, really working out. He's not being held up too much, but he's still able to pick them off as they go into the Joker lap. I don't know what the gap's going to be back to Kevin Hansen is 1.2, so that might not be enough.
No, Kevin's 1.3 now, so that is about what we think the same, 1.5. I think the gap's come down since then. The minute says it would go Rukkanen's way, but Kevin pushing hard. Larsson in front of him. The gap's 2.8, so the gap's going up from P1 to P3, but we don't know what it is from P2 to P3. And neither of them jokers this time round, so they've seen that times are going up, down, and that's where the spotters are earning the money, where they're going, make the call, it's going up.
Yeah, Rukkanen made a mistake on that last lap as well, which cost him, so gave Kevin Hansen a little bit of breathing space there.
Rukkanen chasing hard, 2.9 between Larsson and him. These are the best drivers in the World Rallycross Championship. Let's not forget that. He's a great rally driver, apparently doesn't have the budget, come across to Rallycross, won the National Championship. I think that's in an OMSE Fiesta, and this is a big step up to this car at this level. The very latest OMSE cars are right there, but he's doing a fantastic job with it. Larson and Kevin go Joker this time round. Ruktunen around the outside. I think the two on the inside have maybe done enough. It's going to be close with Kevin Hansen. He might be able to get him on an under and over at the finish line. Kevin going to hold the inside line. Ruktunen goes door to door. Larson takes it. Kevin Hansen, very clever, kept the door shut. That's it. That's what we'd expect from Kevin. Anton Markham with a problem. No. Wow, this is a rough couple of events.
Trying to see if we can see anything.
Anton's P10 as well, Dan. Anton Markland is P10, so is this going to cost him a place in the semis? Timo Scheider, where was Timo? Slow one for him as well. Timo was P7. I reckon he'll be safe. So drama in the last qualifying session here. Remember, it's a doubleheader. Markland has stopped on the start-finish straight. You can see they're just ahead of the champion fast start line. Larson takes it with a 2:46.8, which is fastest so far. Kevin Hansen, Juha Riktonen with a 2:48.1. That's also faster than Timo Timosyanov went. Markland and Scheider with slow times, but making it round to the finish. Larson, Kevin Hansen and Juha Riktonen go to the top of the table. Take another look at that start. Dan, talk us through the first corner. Watch Larson on the outside.
Yeah, so Larson, you can see him actually just before he turns in. He gives himself a little bit of space, turns out and then turns back in, but then huge contact, which I think without it, he probably wouldn't have made it around the corner. He needed it to rotate him into the corner.
It got him turned in, didn't it? Scheider was hard to see what happened there. Obviously, Scheider's been had a nudge from Larson on the outside, but then someone must have hit him on the inside. It was awful for Timo, that situation. You're a passenger, aren't you, basically? There's so much happening so quickly, there's nothing you can do, particularly if the car's broken.
Yeah, he would have just bounced off of everybody there and been left there. But yeah, here's Ruktunen on the joker lap. Last lap, trying to dive for the inside. Can't quite make it. Kevin Hansen shot the door.
Robin, you got the job done into turn one, and then your quickest so far in Q3.
Yeah, it was good to finally take the start and push for 4 laps and see what you can do better. And yeah, it's been a rough day so far. So we're in the sim now, but yeah, it's been tough. So now we're just gonna focus on a good start in the semi and see what we can do better.
Just then, as Timo went past, he kind of flared up a little bit. Do you think there was any unfair contact there? He didn't seem happy.
I didn't hear you, but we will try our best to the final. But like I said, it's a really tough track to get into the first corner. I've seen Matthias and Johan battle it out on pure speed, but when you're stuck in the dust behind you, it's so easy to outbrake yourself and do those mistakes. And with this fast joker lap, it's a tight track.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you.
So yeah, Robin didn't hear. Well, listen to this. Here you go. This is the Polo with its super long procedure to get the launch ready. Very long on the pre-grid, not so long on the grid. So there's something clever about it, which of course all the other teams would like to know. Listen to how long it's been there on that start procedure. We're watching Johan literally out the window. We can see into the car. He's underneath us. Handbrake on. And release. What a view, mate. Best office ever.
Yeah.
We know we're lucky. We do know.
You can look straight into what is probably the best office.
Yeah,
look
to be fair, they're in the best office. We're in the second best office. So we can see Ekstrom underneath us now as you look at Kristoffersson pull up to the grid.
Pulled 2 gears on the on his launch, yeah.
There we go. You see that? Now we're getting the insight. Now we can actually see in the car. So second gear launch for Ekstrom. Easily got enough grunt, hasn't it? So Ekstrom handbrake to get the car into its slot. Andreas Backerud now about to do his launch.
Oh, he stopped too far back.
Go on, Dan, you can move over that way. Keep going, keep going. Cables are nearly gone for Dan, he can't get any further along. Backerud with a smooth launch, but maybe not a rocket. This could be fireworks, couldn't it? Look who's in this one behind Andreas Backerud, Timmy Hansen.
Pulling his belts.
Timmy pulls the belts a bit tighter. When they met on track in Hollius, it's fair to say it was quite racy between them. Larsen's time, incidentally, would have been enough to win Q2, so that's the quickest Audi time so far this weekend. Got to get it done ahead of Kristoffersen. So is Kristoffersen going to get all 3 sessions? Gronholm with a lovely launch, just on the cusp.
Second gear launch for Gronholm as well. First gear for Timmy Hansen. Couldn't quite see Bakkerud.
Bakkerud with a secret. Secret gear for Bakkerud. Okay. Quite the lineup. The final qualifying session for round 3 of the 2020 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Johan Kristoffersen on the inside won a round. He's a double world champion. Next to him, Matthias Ekström, another world champion. He won a round last weekend as well. Bakkerud lost the championship on countback last year. Hansen is the current champion. Gronholm could have won it had he not missed a couple last year. This is a heat lineup. Ready to race one last time for the positions on the grid for the semis. Who's going to get the job done? Brilliant start on the inside for Ekström and Kristoffersen. Bakkerud going with the Kristoffersen. Looks like he might have dragged them off. Gronholm around the outside, 2 sideways. Surely, how does he hold on to that? Ekström gets a nudge. He's nearly in the wall. Just about keeps the Audi out. Not going to be able to challenge Kristoffersen from back there. Looks quicker than Bakkerud. Bakkerud down in P4. It's Timmy Hansen in 3rd. And it's Niklas Gronholm now who's got to get the job done, Dan. We need to see that he can put the lap times in the Hyundai.
Yeah, and what better person to have as your target in front of you to try and chase to put those lap times in. And he's not dropping them yet, is he? Both of them seem to be pulling away from Timmy Hansen, who goes to the Joker lap, along with Matthias Ekström.
So Hansen and Ekström jokering now. Ekström did early jokers last week to great effect. It's going to depend if they catch up with Bakkerud and if Bakkerud's got the pace. Come on, Niklas, let's get back to where we were last year. That's what Marcus wants. That's what we saw during free practice. A little bit of understeer through turn 1, Dan.
Yeah, and it was the same for Tim Majanov earlier on. Mistake for Kristoffersen, but somehow his car just pulls him out of it, doesn't it?
That's what we've said about the Polo, is it has the ability, when you make a small mistake, the operating window's wide, you pull it back more quickly. This corner here, we said, didn't we, to Marcus, we were like, handbrake, he goes, no handbrake, unless you need it, which was just brilliant. Like, fair enough, yeah, it's good analysis. Listen to the power from Kristoffersen's car as he comes through the right-hander. They ran so close to that wall this morning, Dan. We were lucky enough to be standing in the pre-grid, getting smashed up by rocks from these guys as they've been cleaning the track first thing this morning.
Yeah, Johan was really throwing it in off that crest and hit me in the side of the face. Thanks, Johan.
Yeah, I got one right in the middle of the spam as well. For me, Gronholm is not as quick through turn 1, but then in turn 2 and the rest of the track he seems to be able to make up a little bit of time.
Understeer through turn 1,
yeah.
Every lap for Gronholm so far.
Look again now, you know, close. I know there's the Constantina effect, but watch it through turn 1. We've got another lap to go, so, oh, look how sideways Hansen is. They're trying so hard to close that gap down.
Big move there, big mistake for Gronholm. I don't know if maybe he had a problem because it seemed really sideways, but yeah, that's cost him a bit of time now. He's dropped off the back.
Bakkerud isn't holding up Hansen and Ekström. Ekström, hard to know if he's quicker than Timmy or not. He's not right on the bumper. Bakkerud, though, just in the McGann, not able to quite go with Kristoffersen Gronholm. There's nothing in it, though, is there? This is a better run.
Yeah, this is a much better run for Andreas. It's good to see him back up there in the pace, but now Timmy's caught up with him.
Yeah, and he's going to joker now. So Andreas Bakkerud's going to go joker and just about release Hansen and Ekström, but I think out in front, Kristoffersen and Gronholm are going to be... Oh, Gronholm's got a problem! Smoke from the rear of Gronholm's car! Is it a tyre? Is it engine? So Gronholm now under pressure from behind. Hansen comes around the outside along with Matthias Ekström. Tries to hold on the inside. Niklas Gronholm manages to keep Matthias Ekström behind him. Holds 3rd place. But it is Kristoffersen who wins the race. It's a 2:46.050. Not as quick as he went in Q1, but it is enough to win the session. He's going to win the session by 0.8 of a second faster than Larsen. There it is, 2:46.050. Hansen, Timmy managing to get P2. Gronholm with a problem on the last lap, but we didn't see what it was. Is it a big problem or is it just a tyre? Puncture we're hearing, so we're hearing puncture for Gronholm. We couldn't see that from commentary. Ekström gets 8, so Ekström maybe held up a little bit. I think he could potentially have got Timmer, but that's a better run for the Hyundais. Look, all 3 of them are up in the top 7, and that's despite a rear right puncture for Niklas Gronholm. Kristoffersen, though, has won all 3 sessions. Another look at the start from outside at the back. Good start by Gronholm. Look, he's edged Hansen to turn 1. Gets a nudge from Hansen. From here, he's really lucky no one pushed him round, because they could have given him a push there and he'd be gone.
Yeah, they're carrying just enough momentum, isn't he, just to nip it in front. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we saw him pick up, well, it couldn't even be a slow puncture at that point with the contact with Hansen on the run into turn 1.
Yeah,
and that's
shout.
knocked on. So when I saw him have that moment, not this lap, but it was coming through this sector, you saw him have a big sideways moment.
So
I think that could have been there.
It had gone already. So we can't see here. I wonder, this is towards the end of the race. Has he got it by now? Hard to tell. Here you can see it a lot, but I don't know if he's going to see from the back. I wondered if the rear wheel was moving slightly on the previous shot, but anyway, look, Timmy gets round the outside. Matthias somehow can't quite, but it is Kristoffersen who's won all 3.
Johan, another race win. How was that one?
That was very good, very good. We had a bit of margin, so we could, in terms of points, so we could try a few things now in Q3 going into the semi-finals. So try to take the best bits and pieces from this and try to improve even more for semi-final. Tire strategy is a bit interesting, so let's see what we can do. But track condition was also very good now. I mean, they didn't do any track maintenance between Q2 and 3. But in Q1 and 2 they did track maintenance, so it was difficult to be out first, but overall a very good feeling. So yeah, definitely looking forward.
Well done, thank you.
Qualifying over for round 3 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship 2020. Kouvola in Finland. Here's how they stand. Johan Kristoffersen, all 3 sessions won. We're going to call it a clean sweep when it's a double header. Do you need the 4 for the clean sweep? Doesn't matter, he remains unbeaten today. Ekström is P2, Timmy Hansen is P3. The 3 world champions we have on the grid are at the top of the table. Juha Richtinen, he doesn't have a world championship, he's got a Finnish championship. Amazing performance by him to be 4th. He'll line up alongside Ekström, look. Niklas Gronholm, Robin Larsson, Andreas Backrud, Kevin Hansen. The all-important top 12, though. Timur Zyanov, Scheider and Markland. Kallio Koski is in at home. Fantastic performance, and he makes the semi-finals. Interesting finish there, and Kristoffersen saying it's about the tyre strategy, and that doesn't necessarily mean him. It could mean that he's clocked what Audi are up to as well. That last race too, down 39.8 from both Kristoffersen. The only person who matched him was Ekström, but he'd had that problem at the start.
Yeah, so Ekström losing out on the start there, but he's shown he does have the pace to match him on an overall lap. So it'll be interesting when we get to the finals what tyre strategy they have played. Interesting, Johan saying then they had a good points lead, so they could try some stuff.
Yeah, so he said we'll take the best of both. So who's going to take a gamble on the setup? Who's going to take what tyres for the semi-finals? Can Ekström find that little bit of extra pace? You could Richtinen pull a surprise. Can't wait.
Wow, so that was quite a breathless session for us, but some great action. I can see Niklas Gronholm taking a long walk away from his car. I think he's going for a think in the forest because he did not enjoy finishing that race on a puncture. So it's all to play for. We have finished qualifying for round 3 of the 2020 FIA World Rallycross Championship. Join us on your usual broadcaster for the full live 2 hours. We've got the semis and the finals, and it all starts 3 o'clock local time. But for us on the live stream crew, thanks for watching and see you later.